Did I do it? I think I did it. I don't know if I pulled this look off as well as Charlie, but it'll have to do. I'm feeling nostalgic lately. Aren't you?
I'm 67 years old. Every day, the future looks a little bit darker. But the past, even the grimy parts of it, keep on getting brighter.
That's right. I read books when they have pictures. And in that spirit, welcome to episode 1 of my new show called Q's Quick Reviews of Songs That Came Out 10 years ago, because now it's 2024 and 2014 was a pretty good year for music, and I'm mentally regressing to a simpler time in my life because that's cheaper than going to therapy. Comment below if you have a more concise title. First song on the table is by Charli XCX, which is why I look like this. I'm doing this on a budget, all right? I was gonna put a green screen in the background, and then I realized I don't know how to do that, so it's a bath towel. It's a bath towel. Feel free to donate to the cause if this is unacceptable to you. I want to talk about how this song pulls you in using a million little winks and nods and references to different eras of pop music. It frankly has no right going as hard as it does, but that's the genius. This song was just a leftover from her first album that they tried to sell to Hilary Duff.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Thankfully, her team said no, and eventually 21st Century Fox picked it up for the movie The Fault in Our Stars. Now, I literally just learned this earlier when I was doing research, and over the last decade, Charli's become one of my favorite pop divas of the modern era. So it's strange to think that her popularity largely started with a movie I haven't seen and a rapper I cannot stand.
Let's rap your best, you did like go like that, your fast and motorbike. When I win, no win, I win, play good like she got. Trick, crack, rap, boy, till the pop, who go to the race, you know, Tiggy, yeah, should he do it? I'm no, diggle, come motherfucking man. It's Iggy, not jiggle.
Shut the up. Shut the up.
But none of that matters, because the Vroom Vroom EP exists. And whatever she had to do to get that thing made is not only valid, but necessary.
Yeah, bitch, I'm here to take that crown. Make you move it up and down. Pull up the tangerine dreams. Step out of that limousine.
Wait a minute, where have I heard that before?
Make you move it up and down.
Pennywise better have a tight legal team. Let's talk about the production. It's a shame that this isn't a retro period piece movie because there's a lot of elements that evoke different points in the past. The bass line, the clacky 16th notes with the 1960s spring reverb tank just ringing out. I think they ran the pulsing bass through one of these, then added the opening filter afterwards. So like most 21st century pop music, this song was produced by a group of Swedish metalheads that you've never heard of. But you may know them as the team behind They also did Dancing on My Own by Robin. I think Patrick Berger must really love a 16th note pulsing Korg bass because it's the basis of half his songs.
Flamingo pink, Sunrise Boulevard, clink, clink.
I don't know if you thought we wouldn't notice Patrick, but I see you. I see you and your basses. I see you and your pa-pa-pa-pa. I mean, even if he's a one-trick pony, I cannot deny that it works. It sounds so good. Number 2, The synth chords. The sawtooth synth hit on the first beat of each chord cycle of the chorus. It's very 80s, it's very Prince, it's very synth pop, it's very...
What are you doing?
Working? The lyrics fit right into this sort of like time decade hopping theme too. There's 80s power balladry.
It goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on and on.
There's classic over-the-top crooner lines.
First kiss just like a drug under your influence.
Every kiss, every hug seems to act just like a drug.
And then there's what I'll call the early 2000s lyrical onomatopoeia trend. I'm not really good at naming things, but you know what I'm talking about.
That boom, 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 that boom. Let the dogs out. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-ling, 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 ring-a-ling. Hello, 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 hello. Then the girls walk. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling, 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 ding-a-ling-a-ling.
The delivery, the seasoning on this song, the cumin, whatever the metaphor, is that she tops this off with some sassy British 90s girl group attitude. And just look at all of the time periods that we've covered here. All of these little references and nods of different time periods, different decades of popular music all come together to give the song this sense of timelessness. No matter what musical era you come from, you personally belong to, anyone can find something in this song to vibe with. Something that takes you back to that awkward first dance in high school, that tickles that wistful feeling we all associate with our first love. And that really ties in beautifully with the theme of the movie. It was a pretty great sync, but more importantly set the stage for her to make more ambitious, artsy, futuristic, experimental, crazy, wacky pop that I love. Like once A.G. Cook became her artistic director, when Sophie came on board as producer. Oh, all right. One final onomatopoeia song. But this was not from the early 2000s.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell.